Good morning. Alright, we are going to give you a little story time on our experience with our Airbnb. It's a few days later, so we've had time to calm down and process what happened.
Digest a little bit.
Digest all of it. Right off the bat, I'll tell you, me and Emily took it a little harder than Elena did.
Elena's like, it's fine.
Elena's not as stressed about those type of situations as me and Emily get.
And we found out Ashley and I are like...
We're very similar.
We're very similar in the fact that we freaked out.
Yeah.
You'll see the video
How we stressed.
right afterwards.
Yeah. So, we were gonna stay the night around Sedona area in Arizona. And we had booked an Airbnb like weeks in advance, along with all our other like Airbnb and campsite stuff for spring break. So we had read reviews. Well, not really read them. Like we were like, oh, they have reviews. People who stayed here. Like, okay, cool.
And it was rated like 3-4 stars. I don't know.
Yeah, and it was super cheap, and we were like, all right, great. Like, works.
Anywhere else near there was like over $200.
Super expensive for the night, and we were like, okay, we're staying one night. It doesn't need to be that great. Like, it just needs to be a place to stay. And like the city itself, we didn't really look into. We just were like, it's close to Sedona, whatever. Like, we're fine. So we book it. Our first Airbnb we stayed at was great, and we loved it. And so, and our campsites were great, and like, we were not expecting anything odd. So we get to this city, and we are driving, and Emily had clicked on the, like, in the Airbnb app.
The directions.
The directions in the app. So we, like, turned down this street, and we're like, not the greatest street.
There was, like, sheds and, like, shacks.
And, like boarded up houses. And, like, it just didn't look curb appealing.
Yeah.
And Elena was joking, and she was like, I will stay here unless it's that shack. Like, I'm not staying in that shack. And so then, wow, this guy is passing like everybody. 5 cars.
Like 6.
Oh my gosh, and there's a car coming.
Just a tad bit stressed.
Okay, anyways. So then it turns out not that street. That address didn't even exist on that street. So we like pull over and like figure out on the maps ourselves like where to go. So then we go literally drive across town to this other street. So we're driving down the street and we look and we're like, all right, here's the house. And the guy had left us really odd directions on how to get into his house.
About like the color of the door and like go up the driveway, this is the color of the door, it'll be on the right. And so
it'll be unlocked, like just walk in, the key will be inside, like really odd directions. And originally he wanted to meet us and we were like, we don't know what time we're getting there, dude. And then he like changed his mind.
And he was like, oh, we'll just leave it unlocked for you if you don't want to meet me.
Yeah. So we go down this like also not curb appealing street. And we're like, all right, let's just go in and, like, look at it. Like, we're here one night.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, 12 hours.
We didn't have high standards.
Yeah,
either.
we weren't too worried. We were like, okay, like, that's not the nicest looking place, but, like, we're not here that long. So we, like, walked. The whole time, though, I didn't have the greatest feeling. I just kind of had a gut feeling of, like, this is odd.
This is sketchy.
Like, this is a lot of work to get to this Airbnb, and our other Airbnb did not take any work at all.
Just basic instructions that you clicked on the app. It should have been fine. Like
So we walk in, and Elena's the first one to walk in.
She walks in this house.
Super confidently, she walks in.
Yeah.
So what'd you see, Elena?
So I walked into this house, and first of all, it was like a bad house anyway. So I was like, okay, this isn't like great. But then I hear this man like yell, and he's like, who the hell is this? And I was like, ow. So I turned around and I was like, go.
We're all like running to the car.
Ashley's like a little bit slower though.
She's trying to fumble with the key fob. Like,
no. Ashley was trying to go and talk to the man.
I was trying to talk to her.
She literally was like, oh, hi. And then like when she realized what was happening, she turned around and started running to the car.
I didn't process quick enough that the guy was mad at us.
Yeah.
And then we realized we had broken into this man's home, and
this
that was
wasn't
not our Airbnb.
Yeah.
So
she's fumbling with the key fob, can't unlock the doors. We're all standing there trying to unlock the door. He's running out of his house.
He doesn't have a shirt on. His
pants are undone. Like his belt buckle's off, undone.
So then we're sitting in the car, face tattoos. And tattoos all over his body, which tattoos are not bad,
just the whole
situation was not okay. Yeah. So then we're backing out of the driveway, and he's with his hands up,
what
are you doing? Elena thought he was waving. Now that she's thought back through it, she thinks he was actually doing what the heck. So then we go across. Well, first we drive down the road.
Cut to the clip of right afterwards.
So then we're freaking out. So here's that.
Go. Wait, I want to turn back. I want to see. Guys, listen. Where is that coming from?
I can't go anywhere.
All right, now that you've seen us freaking out and how we were taking what had just happened of us literally breaking into this man's home, we look across the street, and that's the address as well of where we are supposed to be. So we were all right, this is odd. We're looking at this house. We're a little sketched that the house that we were just inside is right across the street. And we were okay, how do we get in here?
But the address for the house didn't have the same color door that they were describing.
Yeah,
didn't have anything on the right side. It was literally a garage.
They had described the house across the street and not the house of the actual address. And it was the other house across the street didn't have numbers on it, but it was the exact description.
Yeah.
And then the house that across the street that had the numbers wasn't described to what it was supposed to be.
And then it had a do not trespass.
No trespassing.
Sign, locks on the gate. Yeah.
Yeah, a bolt, one of the chains that was bolted shut on the gate. And we were how do we get in here? And so then at that point we were this is too complicated. Something's off.
Something's
this
really
isn't
off.
okay.
Yeah.
So then I was okay, let's call the guy.
Yeah,
so Emily calls him.
Yeah, so I call him, I have it on speakerphone. He doesn't answer, and the name on his Airbnb account was different from the name inside of the answering machine.
And so we were okay, that's odd. So he doesn't answer. We didn't leave a message because we were this is weird.
Yeah.
So then Emily messages him within the app. But then 5 minutes later, Emily gets 3 or 4 texts from all different numbers, different names, all saying here, let us help you check into your Airbnb. And we were what? This does not make any sense. This is an Airbnb, some guy's guest house. What?
Yeah.
So then we were all right, this is weird.
Yeah.
So at that point, we had already decided we were driving back to Flagstaff
there was
and staying
no way
in a hotel.
We were staying there, no matter if we were getting our money back or not.
Yeah, we were
it wasn't worth it.
This is too sketchy, and we all just felt uneasy about it, and you gotta go with your gut. It was just weird.
Yeah.
We were all right, this is too much. It was weird. So then we went and stayed in a nice hotel. Elena got the best sleep of her entire week in this hotel.
Yeah.
And
Ashley and I were still so stressed that we were having nightmares all night about things that were happening.
We
didn't sleep.
But it was nice. We were in a hotel. We had hot water, nice shower. It was
clean
great.
sheets.
Yeah.
No one to break in on us.
Elena had a dream of people breaking into the room.
They were traveling through a portal
in the mirror.
Was the mirror.
But anyways, that was our experience with Airbnb. We'll probably use an Airbnb again.
But
just
look
read
at
the
reviews more and pay a little more money for somewhere that has great reviews.
Yeah. But our Cedar City Airbnb was great.
Awesome. She was so great. She was so nice. We didn't even need the extra touches.
Yeah.
It was just the fact of how convenient it was.
It was just so
and
nice.
how nice she had clean sheets. That's literally if we would have gone there, it was a literal drive up, convenient, clean sheets.
Yeah,
I would have been
this
fine.
place was way too complicated to get to.
You couldn't even get in.
Yeah, you couldn't get
in.
Yeah, we were it's literally locked. What? So that was our experience. And so needless to say, We didn't do any hiking in Sedona, didn't even stay in Sedona.
We were planning on doing things there, but you know, it didn't happen.
Did nothing. We just...
we are no longer okay with that town. It is not a place we're going back to.
We ended up going back to Flagstaff, getting the hotel like we said, and then the next day, instead of hiking, we went and pulled off into this national forest and took naps in our hammocks.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was our experience.